What's up, Juventini? Alberto here, got all your Juventus news. All right, we're going to talk untouchables today. I'm going to give you 3 players that are untouchable on my list for Juventus. And I've seen on social media, not all fans agree with one of them, which catches me by a big surprise. Let's see if you're as surprised as I am. A surprise pairing against Udinese. Let's see, we're going to talk about that one. And then Chiesa rumors have gone full circle. We are back to square one. We're going to tackle those details. And one player that I'm going to tell you today on this episode, I am ready to walk away from as rumors continue about his future. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the HAC. Let's rock. All right, so first things first, Mirko Di Natale brings us rumors surfacing that Marco Brescianini was approached by Juventus in order to bring him in this past winter mercado. And this is backed up and confirmed by the sporting director at Frosinone. But look, is there anything to hold on to with this name moving into the future? Let's just take it and put it in our back pocket and just think of it as this is a guy Juve was looking at to bring in as a body and some support going down the second half stretch of the season. Is anything going to happen in the future? I actually don't believe so, all right? But again, we'll just take the name, put it in the back pocket, all right? Now, as far as untouchables go for Juventus, I have 3 of them. And for me, these have to be just secured and not even thought about in terms of moving, all right? Now, number 1, you've got 3 clubs, Manchester United, Dortmund, and Leipzig, all interested in Dean Huijsen. It is being reported that 25 to 30 million euros is what it's going to take to sit down at the table with Juventus. And I saw comments on social media saying, sell him. I am nowhere near that point. The amount of poise and composure this kid shows at that age, center back, left foot, I am not moving Dean Huijsen. He is one of my untouchables, all right? The other, we've got reports surfacing that offers came in for Kenan Yildiz at 40 million euros. Juve didn't even consider it, all right? He is another one on my untouchable list. The latest reports suggest he is set to receive a renewal from Juventus very, very soon. He's on my untouchable list. The other is Gleison Bremer, who's having a standout season, all right, getting a lot of praise from media, rightfully so. He's become an absolute leader for Max Allegri, kind of one of those silent leaders that goes out there and just gets the job done, is a beast, but he is, no doubt, a leader, all right? Now we have Manchester United, who is very, very interested, okay? And the reports continue that 70 million euros, Juve will talk, but today we get reports that Juve has no interest in moving Gleison Bremer. At least not right now, and that I can agree with. There may be a moment in time where we can look at moving Gleison Bremer. For the time being right now, he is untouchable for me. All right, so those are my 3 untouchables. I was shocked to hear Juventini say they would move Dean Huijsen right now. I understand a lot of capital that can help us, but I am not there with this kid. I think there's a high ceiling there for him. Same with Yildiz. I would look at other youngsters, and here's one that might surprise many, but I'm at the point where I think I sell Miretti, and there's a lot. When yesterday we put out that short video from our last podcast where Anthony gives his gotta go list from Juventus, and he dropped Miretti in there, and there was many across all our platforms that said I am not selling Miretti, I would loan him out. But I'm kind of at the point there where if I can get a decent amount of capital coming in at that point, I might make the move. Not enough of his game is coming through, and he's had a ton of appearances and opportunities, and even against weak opposition, that it's just not translating for him. I might sell Miretti if something goes down. Agree, disagree? Hit me in the comment section, all right? Now, we get to some rumors about Paris Brunner, and again, you got to take these with a grain of salt, but the U17 World Cup winner and Golden Ball recipient in that tournament, a strong attacking presence, all right? He was scouted by Juventus last summer, but Mirko says amongst all these rumors that are floating around and have been floating around since last summer, that there's nothing concrete there from Juventus. Nothing really worth sticking to. But yes, they did scout him, as well as a ton of other clubs, all right? Highly touted young talent, all right? So again, Probably nothing coming out there. But again, you just take it and put it in the back pocket. Because the thing is, at the forward role, and I don't think he would be the name right now, but things are kind of in doubt with Dusan Vlahovic, all right? We don't know what Juventus is going to do, but we are hearing that there is potentially a willingness for Dusan Vlahovic to extend, and we would see that salary lowered to between 9 and 10 million euros, which would help Juventus big time in both facets, whether they keep him and it makes a sale a little bit easier to facilitate. So it's not completely set in stone, even if he extends, that we don't maybe see a change there. And there are still rumors surfacing about Juve keeping their eyes on other strikers, all right? As far as his physical fitness goes, he is in doubt. Probably do not expect to see him against Udinese, all right? But he will be back partially training with the group tomorrow. And how does his contract affect Federico Chiesa? Because with Chiesa right now, we have gone full circle. Now the rumors take us right back to the beginning of last summer, where we are hearing that if Max Allegri stays, if we don't switch to 4-3-3, Chiesa is going to leave. But I think it's actually more in Juve's hands, all right? Because, again, he's fighting for a little bit more money. Juve could do this, but they want incentives, some protection based on his appearances, because obviously he's had about 12 or 13 stoppages entirely since he's come back from the major injury, all right? So there's been doubts there. His performances, they're good, but the numbers aren't backing him, all right? And if a guy like Dusan Vlahovic, who now does have numbers on his side, and he does score in big games, all right? He's got 12-2 of the tally. If he's willing to extend, spread out the salary, and now Chiesa wants more, that one kind of hurts his case if Vlahovic is willing to extend to spread that out and bring it down annually. That's going to create a problem for Federico Chiesa. You have the Euros kicker, all right, and Juve could maybe see his value increase a bit and look to move him. I think it's in Juve's hands, but we will see what happens with Chiesa. As far as his fitness goes, he's ready to go against Udinese, so no stoppages, no missed times, despite the knock at the end of the Inter game in his brief cameo of 30 minutes, all right? Now, you've got a surprise pairing we could see against Udinese, because it is being reported that Milik is set to start in terms of Vlahovic, but there are some rumors that Max might go a little crazy and play Yildiz and Chiesa up top together. How do you feel about that one? Well, for me, I think they're both going to want to get on the ball. I'm not so sure how the two of them connect, and again, I would love to see Yildiz play behind and push Chiesa forward with another striker there. It is Udinese. They're not that strong a side. Maybe now's the time to go to a 3-4-1-2. But the biggest thing for me, shore up that left side. But before going with the two of them pairing up top with the three midfielders, I would just try the 3-4-1-2 with Yildiz there. And you don't have to start the game with it. You can move into it at some point, but that's what I would try first. What are your thoughts? Hit me in the comment section on that one. Now, we're going to finish up with a couple pieces. Felipe Anderson is said to for sure be joining Juventus on a free transfer. It is pretty much inevitable that that is going down, all right? Let's see what happens. Monaco and Lille are interested in bringing Caio Jorge next season. Those are two loan spots that I think would be way better for Caio Jorge, and I would look at loaning him out to one of those two clubs. Now, last, certainly not least, Barcelona said to be interested in Adrien Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot will be reflecting everything at the end of the season before making his decision. I am ready. I've gone full circle on him after switching back and forth in my mind about probably 100 times. I'm ready to let Adrien Rabiot walk. I personally believe that a sound technical midfielder coming into this Juventus would have us forget about him, all right? Yes, he can be a force. Yes, he can be crucial for this Juventus, all right? But he can also ghost, and ghost terribly. And maybe it's just because he was missing in action and then coming back to that Inter game. But for me, I still stand firm. This team in the midfield needs better technical midfielders, and I am ready to let him walk. I don't want to play this game about contracts year in, year out. A multiple one gets us away from that or whatnot, but to be honest, I still can't help my personal feelings that somebody that is technically gifted and sound goes further than what Adrien Rabiot brings at his best. So for me, I'm ready to let him walk. Are you with me? Let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree, all right? And that wraps up today's edition. I'll be back tomorrow with another. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe, but let's mix it up in the comments, and there's a lot to tackle. Fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.